What's good? What's good? I have a phone interview later for a job at a lumber yard, just essentially operating a forklift, loading trucks, etc. Um, I'm forklift certified, so it's perfect. However, one issue: this company might drug test, and I consume cannabis, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It is a very natural substance. It can be abused just like anything. Addiction, it's not limited to things that you would deem inappropriate or bad. You can be addicted to all kinds of things that are healthy for you in moderation. As Aristotle says in his list of virtues, moderation is one of them. And so, that in connection with, I had my first ketamine session a few days ago. It was very mild. I'm hoping future sessions, because there's 6 total within this package, they're up in the dose. The first session, initial sort of baseline dose, but I still had some insights from it, and it's kind of connected to this issue of employment and drug screening. But first, I kind of want to share, if we can see this. That's some of my beautiful art. That's me, and all these lines and whatnot. Those are lines of tension derived from the weight of disagreement, disapproval, and disappointment. And so, while a part of me really doesn't fucking care what people think, there is a part of me that still does care. So, like, while I can say overall I don't care, it would be dishonest to say I don't care. Like, there's not still issues. And so this is something I'm trying to work through. And the title of this video, "The Disappointment is Mutual." What do I mean by that? Conformity is complicity. I have a few people in mind who have judged me harshly for my consistency in not wanting to work for an employer that drug screens. Because I believe in bodily autonomy. What I do with my body on my time is my fucking business. And I understand, as an employer, you get to be picky about who you choose to employ. My issue stems from the manufactured consent of this belief, the manufactured consent being the propaganda and the use of the state to demonize these devices being like plant medicines and whatnot, and other drugs that could be potentially healing. And so if we did not have an overarching system and structure that disseminated the demonization of these, fewer employers would likely care. But because we live in this broken system that people encourage me to conform to, we're still dealing with this. In 2024, marijuana is still an issue. Conformity is complicity. If you conform, you are complicit in the unethical behavior. I believe it is unethical for the state to have such restrictions, and then for other people to just conform because of the power of the state. That is immoral. That is unethical. More writing. Why do I let the opinions and judgments of these people burden me? Partially because these people have helped me or tried to help me. And so when I express my belief that bodily autonomy should be paramount in a society, I'm told to conform, or because I don't conform, I'm a bad person. And the weight of that disappointment is something I still do hold on to. I still feel guilty that I let these people down. And I try really hard to not be a judgmental person, although I am. when I catch myself being judgmental, I do try to redirect, or I do think to myself, you're a hypocrite. Let he who is free from sin cast the first stone. And that's cognitive behavioral therapy there. I've learned to identify various personal patterns and to redirect them. I would encourage you to explore cognitive behavioral therapy. I'm lisping because I have like a device in my mouth. I'm still learning how to talk. I'm learning how to re-walk. It's wild. Get back on subject. And so while I do say the disappointment is mutual, I don't want to come at it from a judgmental place. And my instinct, instead of to project back the judgment that I receive, my instinct has been to just sort of carry it, to hold on to it. And I need to let go of it. I need to let go of it. You should not let the judgments of other people affect you. You should, though, look inward and be self-critical, and maybe their judgments have merit. But if you remember that they're coming from this place of being a human with an ego, and that compassionate love is difficult, or maybe their judgments... Okay, I'm getting off subject, I'm sorry. It's wrong. Bodily autonomy should be one of the most fundamental components of how we construct a society. Which is why I'm so frustrated, because the same people who say, my body, my choice, also advocate for a lot of medical fascism. But then also, I posted a meme on my Instagram the other day, go check it out, my body, my choice. If someone's labor is required to produce something, it is not a human right. So you do not have a human right to the fruits of somebody else's labor. No, you do not. And so communism, socialism, all forms of collectivism are immoral because they believe that somebody else's labor is a human right, and that is not true. Someone else's labor is not a human right. I'm getting way off subject, I'm sorry. Let me just wrap it up. More notes from my first session. Remember who you were before the shit. I had somebody once tell me that I just have this smile and this laugh that is just joyous and infectious and beautiful. And not in like a romantic way, just I know I have an awesome energy. A lot of my coworkers, I just left one of my day job, and a lot of my coworkers are already like, we miss you so much, the store is different, and I almost started crying because one of my coworkers on our last shift together almost started crying because we just built this beautiful relationship because I'm a good leader. One of my boss's biggest criticisms of me was that I'm not a leader, which is the biggest bullshit. That is her projecting her own inadequacies to kind of muddy the water because she couldn't even write a fucking schedule. Like literally, you could go into the break room, there's no schedule up. People are always like, I don't know when I work next. You know, I'm like, do you know when you work next? I don't know who I have on, I didn't know who I had on my shifts. I'm getting way off subject. Conformity is complicity. If you disagree with how things are being done right now, do not conform. That is the best way to resist and to stand up. Just stop. All right, I have more notes, but I'll make another video on that. Thank you very much for listening. Much love.